Okay guys, this is Tega to the world. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I was able to trade gold last week. So this trade actually took me about 3 to 4 days to actually make out this trade to the TP level, and it was actually a massive good trade. I was very happy. So I turned about $347 down to 18,000, and I withdrawed 18,000, leaving only 480 something dollars on the MT5 to continue my trade by next week. So I'm going to be giving you guys a breakdown on what I did, on how I was able to know where the market is going to be heading to, and not changing my directional bias. So if this is your first time, like I said, subscribe to this video, get notified whenever I drop videos as this, so you learn and improve your way of trading, right? So I'm going to take you guys step by step on what I did, how I traded it, how everything was working so perfectly, and no mistakes and no confusions. You don't need to stress your brain when looking out for what to do on your chart, right? So be it gold, BTC, whatever pair you are trading, right? So this is actually the video you need to watch to understand step by step what to do and how to do it, right? So I'm going to show you guys a first thing you need to know: how to find your directional bias from your higher time frame down to your lower time frame, and know how to enter the trade and leave the trade, when to leave the trade and when not to leave the trade. So this is all the things I'm going to be explaining in this video. So share your thought on the comment section, like this video, like I said, because the more you like, the more it gets to more people, and let's get this video trend with your likes and your comments, right? So put your thoughts on the comment section. If you don't understand anything, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to break down more on the next video I'm going to be dropping. And there's something I actually had on my last video. If you watch that video, you're going to be learning how to trade on 2026. So now let's explain how I was able to get this particular win for last week, right? You can see right here and how the chart is looking very clean. There's nothing to be confused here, right? So even without me telling you guys what you think about the bias, you should already know what the bias is looking like exactly, right? So if you look very well here, we have a break in market structure, or you can call it sweep, or liquidity that market wanted to take and sell for a moment, right? So which is fine, it's actually okay, right? But to me, this is a break in market structure, so I just need to take it like that or leave it, right? If you still debate it, so now let's check from the higher time frame. So you can see very well here from the higher time frame, what are you going to be seeing? So we are actually on a bearish dealing range. That's what we call dealing range, but you can see that market sold a little bit. There's a key level also in the daily time frame, so that means that it's not actually a downtrend for that particular moment. So we need to start looking at for what buys at that particular given moment. So if you watch very well here, you will see that market retested on a breaker block. So I've taught you guys how to use breaker block key level, other block key levels, just know how to use your OBI very well, right? So I'm going to be showing you guys what happened next. So you can see very well here, we have a lot of consolidation. I'm not even gonna lie, I hit a lot of XLs at this particular zone, right? So I was really kind of confused. I don't know what the bias is looking like, because it's not giving that clean just like the way it's looking right now. So that was why I was confused. I took some sell, I hit a sell, some was on break even. It was a crazy moment, a crazy week. You guys can actually remember that particular moment. Almost everybody ate stop loss at that particular given moment, right? So but now we have a clean chart and a clean direction, and what the market is looking is very clean. So we just need to focus on what we have here. You can see that we have a break in market structure, which is simplifying that we are actually bullish, and we also have a lot of breaks there before having inducement, where we're just going to be focusing on the closest inducement and the closest key level, which is what we call POI, right? So that POI is where we are going to be looking out for market pretest. So we start looking out for our bullish to the upside. So what I waited for, I don't want to rush the trade. This is good, so I waited for shift in market structure, which was that shift in market structure that many people kind of be looking at it as as a liquidity for a sell, right? So That's actually a shift to market structure. So after then, I spotted an other block. Then I marked out the other block, which you can see very well there. Market, after breaking out, closed above to confirm. So market came back to this other block. So you can see a rejection happened there. I waited patiently. I waited patiently for market to shift structure on a lower time frame. So you don't need to rush your trade. Like I always say, don't rush trade, right? There's no need of you rushing your trade. So exercise patience, but doesn't mean that you can't actually hit SL. There's no strategy that you can't hit SL, right? So, but this is actually a clean chart, a clean win for me. This is shift in market structure. I spotted my inducement level and whatness. I waited for market to come back to this other block. That was the only level there. There's also a breaker block, but the breaker block is very much close, right? But I just spotted the two key levels, which is the two point of interest to take my trades from. So I just picked one and waited for market to come back there, and boom, I took trades from there. That was actually 1:6 risk to reward, right? I missed another trade here, which was a breaker block entry. So that was why I looked out for another way to join that trend, right? So I was not able to catch it from the root, which was from the 45 to 1 hour time frame. So I went to the 15 minutes to look for another opportunity to join that particular trend, right? So I know my directional bias. That was why I was not really scared, right? If market is going to flap against me, but to God be the glory, nothing flopped. It was just a nice set, right? So this was a 1:10. So I took this trade and also took another trade from this very angle. This is what we call QM. You can actually call it a QM entry. So after having a double break in market structure, and I have inducement, and I waited for market to come back. You can see a double. I actually marked it out very well. So I waited for market to return back into a particular level, and I will start looking out for my POI. And you can see what happened there, right? You can see very well that this is the inducement. So where are we going to be looking out for? For our POIs, right? And if you watch very well here, like this is the only POI I'm seeing, which is a QM POI. There's no other block right there, and I'm not going to be picking anything wrong just to form that this is another block. So I just decided to use that QM, and boom, we started pushing to a certain moment, and market started flopping down again. But I was not really scared. So I've already made the first profits, and I was on break even. So in case the markets go against me, I'll have something to hold hand. You understand? So then after then, I decided to look out for another trade on the 15 minutes, and there, boom, we have a lot of structures, a lot of and that particular day was actually holiday. I'm trying to remember that particular date, but I can't recall. So this was actually on a holiday day, and we have a lot of consolidation at that particular given moment. So but in all, I actually have something that I caught here. I caught a trade in between this level, but I've deleted I deleted it. It's kind of like a lower time frame trade, like a 5 minutes entering stuffs. I took a trade and I made some cool profit, and I didn't target much. I didn't go for too much because anything can happen. So I just targeted a closest one, and this was the level interest for the 15 minutes, and boom, I caught the trade back to the upside, right? So now let's explain more. Pay attention very well, right? So if you watch very well here, this is it from the higher time frame, and you can see how I smashed the TP very well, and very simple. This strategy is very simple. I don't know why people find it so difficult to understand. It is just a simple thing that needs a simple bias. Once you know your bias, you can actually win anyhow. Now let me show you guys the proof of my trade. This is me running on profit, which you can see here, and I was able to turn this $300 to $18,000. Sorry, it's not $18,000. This is it, and this is actually when I requested for my payout, and this is when I made my withdrawal, and then boom, successful. You can see everything is just working as perfect as planned. So it was actually a nice trade, and I actually love last week, right? So this week that is coming up, I'm just going to be waiting for market to give me a dealing range, and I'll decide if I'm going to be bearish or bullish. So wait for the next video and see what I have.